Dude, welcome back to the bench. Today, I'm going to do a little bit different kind of thing. My intention today is to do some shock setups here. I have a bunch of shocks, spares, that kind of stuff. I have a bunch of pistons, um, seals, rings, rod ends, or the shock shaft ends, get a little bit of everything. I have some cameras here too, and I'll explain in a sec what those are for. What I intend to do is set these shocks up and set up a second set and do them both identically, except for oils. And then I'm going to run 2 packs back to back and see what the difference is, right? And with the cameras, my intention is to try to record what I can. I've got this Insta360. I'll just probably stick on a pole out on the track, and I've got a 360 Go and a cool little hat mount. So I'm thinking I'm going to try those to record the actual track session, and maybe try to overlay lap times, things like that, so that we can get a sense of, you know, what we're doing, right? So I guess let's just jump right into it. I've got a little bit different setup on this car. Let me find a stand. Right. So we won't need these cameras for a little bit. We'll put those aside. And I just have a stand so I can, put shocks in. Yeah, well, I'll just jump right in and start pulling this thing apart, and we can see how the shocks are set up right now, and figure out how to duplicate that with another set of shocks as we can. Notice my tires are super bald. I've been running the same set of raw speed villains for 2 weeks, at least. Funny thing is that here at Thornhill, when the track is dry, they actually perform better, I think, than fresh tires. I'll run these until I can't run them any longer. I've had to reglue them a couple of times, but I just keep running them, and they just keep hanging on, and the grip is just amazing. I don't remember what compound these are in. I want to say it's soft long wear, but not positive. Let me get these shocks off. I'll get this car out of the way, and we can start working. And we'll, of course, give them an inspection, make sure, shafts are straight and there's no bind, things like that. And like I said, we're going to set up 2 sets of shocks the same way, except for oils. Give them a rip, see what happens. These are off the card. I don't want to mix these up with the extras. put the car aside for now. Oh, you know what? Let me put a couple of packs in. Actually, let's talk about this thing. I picked this up the other day at the shop. It is a 1,000 watt charger from Gendace. It's pretty nice. Got a power switch, and it works just like all their other chargers. Unfortunately, the menu stuff is exactly the same, which I don't love. It's not the best, menu to go through and work your way through. But this thing will charge at 26 amps per channel simultaneously, and it will discharge at negative 6 amps per channel, which is huge compared to the D300 or the D100. This D1000 has got it all over that. It's got a great big fan on the side, great big heat sink inside. You can kind of see a little bit through the other side. Still has a USB plug on it, which is great, so you can charge other devices. And it still has all the same settings as the other ones, right? The D100, D300. You can still do external power, digital power, all that kind of good stuff. It is very nice. So let me put some on the charge, and I'll be right back. All right, battery's charged. All right, so shock. All right, let's see what we can do. So let's start with the fronts. So the kind of side. On these two stands, I'll go red and blue. We'll put the existing set on the red one, and we'll put the old one on the new one we're going to try on the blue one. Take these shocks apart. You just have to remove the scrub screw from the spring perch. You pull the spring down, you can then pull the perch off, and then you can take the spring off. This is an orange spring. You want to do the same again on all of the shocks. Where's my shock wrench? We kind of need that. We're going to need that. And, oh, yeah, here we go. This guy, we're going to need paper towels. Yeah. So I'll set these up like identically, right, as we can. Right. Let me get a cup. Dump our oil in. All right. And this shock shaft looks pretty straight. What piston is there? Looks like 1.5 and 1.6. So I guess it's 2 and 2. Okay. So 2 holes at 1.5 and 2 holes at 1.6. Keep that in mind. These are going to confuse the heck out of me. Right. Yeah, see, it already happened. Jeez. I have to pay closer attention. Oh, I have a limiter on this one, but I didn't have one on the other one. All right. We'll talk about those two as we go. Well, this is like an attempt to. So I've never actually done like a side-by-side comparison with shock coils. This one looks pretty straight, yeah. So that's my intention here. I want to set up shocks exactly the same except for the oils and drive them back to back and see what the difference is. Right? And then we can figure out other things from there, maybe, right? Thing 1.5 by 1.6. So for the ones that were on the car, I'll go 750, 750. I'm hoping we have enough 750. I think we have another bottle. I'll explain about these pistons as well as we go. Oh, made a mess. It's the bleeder screw. Let me set these aside for now. We won't need them until we go to build the backs on the other set of shocks. These springs are what? Also orange. Little commentary on springs here. You'll notice that on my front shocks, I run longer springs, and on the rear shocks, I run shorter springs. This is just a feel thing. So my rear shocks are 73 mil, and my fronts are 83, I think. Yes. This is just a feel thing. I don't know how to explain it, but for me, one time, I put my shocks on kind of backwards, just screwing around, and I just left it. I just playing around, right? We tried, let's just put long springs in the front and short springs in the back, see what happens. And yeah, just feels nice. the shock shaft straight. Looks pretty good. All right, these pistons are a little bit different. So these are VRP pistons. They're, I think, Jared Tebow's spec. They are 20-hole pistons. I can pull one out of the caddy here in a second to show you. They look like this. I think these are actually ready to go for us with red flaps. So the way these work is you have your piston, and like I said, this one is 20-hole setup. I want to say most of them are like, they're less than a millimeter. And then there's like some 1.5s in there. Let's see if I can get a good view of that, maybe. That work? There, perhaps. Yeah. So anyway, and then there's these little flaps that are rubber that sit underneath of a kind of washer that is customizable. So you can use different length caps here, and they give you a bunch, right? So you have different length, different strength, and they basically control how much rebound gets let through these rubber flaps that cut through the piston. So yeah, so we'll set these up on the new setup as well. The audio is bad, huh? What's wrong with it? I wonder if that's better. Can you guys hear me a little bit better now, maybe? Slightly better? Slightly better is better than nothing. In and out very fast, huh? Let me see what I can change. No, not Bluetooth. It's the DJI Mic Mini. But is that any better? Working any better? Loose wires. Oh. All right, hang on. Is that any better? Shouldn't be like put your mic in the microwave for 30 seconds. Let me switch. How about that? Is that any better? Hello. Can you hear me now? Still bad. All right. What if we do this? Is that any better? That's disabling the compressor. Still bad. Or no? Let's see if I can monitor it. Can I monitor it? No. Be back. All right. Are we back? Let's see if that's any better. I don't know if it's the lights. No, I don't think so. Um, Better but not great, huh? How about this? What if I turn my filters back on? How about now? Much better. Much better? Like perfect better? All right. Good, good. All right, where was I? Pistons. Right. VRP 20 hole, little flappers we kind of talked about. I guess I'm going to have to talk about it again since it was kind of funky. These are 20 hole pistons. I think they're Jared Tebow spec. They have a bunch of small holes, like less than a millimeter. Then they have some 1.5 mil holes for them. And then there are little flappers that are kind of controlled by a disc on top. And you can make these like stronger or weaker for rebound. We're gonna do the same setup on both sets. So when I get to the rears, I think I have the ones set aside just for that. Well, you know, I didn't actually give these a pump to get any air bubbles out of the bottom. Oops. Doesn't look like I needed to. Good. Good. All right. Last. Last for this set. I'm going to jump over to the other ones. And the other ones, I have to do some like Frankensteining because got some missing parts and various sets of shocks. It's going to get a little bit interesting. All right. Boots. Where'd my screwdriver go? Oof, that one's on there tight. Oh, that shock shaft is definitely bent. Yeah. I have to replace that one. Okay. Let me get another paper towel. Right. Shock shafts we have plenty of somewhere. Which ones do we need? 137 millimeters. And same thing. So take a 5.5 mil nut on the top. Oh, no, it's a 5. With these, you have to kind of put a little bit of Loctite on the shock shaft threads as the nut they give you is low profile and is not a nylock. Yeah. Okay. Nice and easy. It's like that's a little ovaled out, but it might be okay. Let's give it a try. Yeah. No problem. Feels good. We have just enough 750 in this bottle. Just enough. Right on. Okay. Guess with that, let's jump over to the other side. We'll let the air bubbles come out of that. And we need some shocks. Let's get some longs and shorts. Ideally, these have the same pistons, but we'll see. All right, yeah, let's go with those. We definitely don't have the same springs. Let me try to find the right springs. You have springs. Wow, a lot of springs. Okay, so we were going to go for orange. These are orange 70 70s? Maybe. Yellow is orange and 80, so that'll be a front. Yellow, yellow, yellow. I should probably take these pills off of this sprue. That would make life easier. This is orange and 73. That's the right one. Not this 70. I'll not put those back in there. Red. So yellow. Yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow. Y'all need a yellow spring. You know where to look. Yellow, yellow. Orange. It kind of looks like this could be an orange. Looks like all the paint's worn off. I'll try that one in a sec. Yellow, this one. All the paint's off of this one. Oh, it's a yellow. I don't know what this one is either. Oh, it's the long one. It's an 80. Try it side by side with another orange, perhaps. It's like this one was yellow. I can't tell either. I should put some other marks on these. They're all yellow, yellow, yellow. Oh, orange. What's this one? Orange long. Yeah. That's 2 orange longs. We just need 1 more orange short. See some oranges. Yeah, I have all the yellow springs. Orange and 70. Too short. Orange and 80. Too long. Yellow. Orange. And that looks like it's 80 as well. Now we have to go with these 70mm ones. Yellow, yellow. Oh. Yeah. We have all the yellow springs. All right, let me see if I can get back to the short orange ones. I guess these are like 2.0 length shocks. It's a 70, and where'd the other one go? Yeah. Yep. We could try those, I guess. Or I could, you know, I could go long, long. What to do? Do I have enough oranges that I could, like, do long oranges all the way around? For, like, all 8 shots? This one is orange, and it looks like it's 80. Orange 80. $73. Yeah, I mean, to go with the 70 versus the 73s, I'd rather not, but actually, what's on the other things? I'm not sure what to do here. Orange. These the same length? There's a red. That one's red. That's red and red, aren't they? Yeah, I guess I'll do it. I'll go with the short ones. Hope for the best. Unless these are orange longs. In which case, maybe I'll run these. No, they're not. Different lengths, too. Tell you what, Let's go with these in the back, these in the front. And that'll be close. And again, if anybody needs a spring, come see me. A yellow one. Can't help you with many other colors. All right. Yellow. You can see these shocks have been used for short springs. It's got two colors. Right. That's a long. And we're going to do $500 round in these. Oh, I didn't check the T. I didn't even bother to look at the piston. Hang on. Need to readjust. Yeah, that piston is not the same as the one we've got in the other. So we had two 1x5s and two 1x6s. We're going to make those. Today we're going to make those. Oh, those were for the fronts anyway, weren't they? But either way, I'll drill them because I know that there's not that same size in the fronts. So 1x5, 6. These little twist drills are pretty handy. They're very difficult to read the numbering on the side, however. That's 1.4. That one's going to be 1.5. And the next one will be 1.6. So we'll do two each of these. These pistons have dimples in them already for us. Caught. Oh no. It keeps coming out of the holder. There we go. So we'll do two of these, then we'll go back and do two 1.6s on both. Oh, come on. Better. And 216s. Oh my goodness. There it goes. So I won't mark these, but we'll know. Yeah. 1.5, 1.6. And these are the newer Techno pistons. So they're molded, and they do require you to use a different washer on the back end of them than the Delrin pistons. The Delrin pistons, you could just use a small, like an M3 washer on the back of, but on these, you have to use a more supportive washer underneath of the piston, or else it'll break. Believe it or not. Whoa, I did not expect that to come out of the thing. How does that go back in? All right. That's pistons drilled for the fronts. We'll get to that. We are going to have to take apart the... Where's my washer that goes on the bottom of this? Let's find another one. Should have, yeah. Should have some washers. What do we said? Oh, we're going to use these springs. Not these. Let me put these away so they don't confuse me. Right. Where was the shock that we were just working on? Which one was it? I should clear off all this stuff so I don't get confused, huh? One without a cap on it. Know that. And I thought it was one with another set of colors. Yeah. Where's the one with another set of colors? Where's my other shock? It couldn't have gone far. Ah, over here. Right. So we got to take this piston out. Put our VRP piston in. That looks like an interesting piston. Maybe I made that one. Put a little bit of thread lock. I can get some out. And we're gonna need a washer. I guess we can reuse that nut maybe. Let's try it. All these washers are stuck together. I only need 2. All right. Let's try this. So we go washer Oops. Piston. And nut. Oh, what did I just do? With that? No. Yeah, see, that's. Oh, maybe it's okay, actually. Yeah. I guess the thread lock is going to do the bulk of the work. We'll go with that. Okay. Now, I can put oil in it. Realsies. Right. Do the other back one. More yellow springs. That shaft straight? Yeah, it's pretty straight. All right. And we'll have to take that piston out too. Wipe that off. A little bit of thread lock again. If I can get any again. Come on. Just need a little bit. Not all of it. Good Lord. Right, washer. Piston. No. Okay. Shock body back. And fill her up. More yellow springs. Shock shaft, pretty straight. Cruising along now, just these 2 more shocks left to get set up. Yeah, this piston is definitely not the one I'm looking for. So for these techno molded pistons, you have to use these heavy duty washers. And they're like a plastic or something. But they go on first, and then your piston, and then your nut. Just that easy. Last one. Then we can start reassembling. I must not have put that one in because I always run my grub screws in from the same direction. This one might have been my kid or my camper mate over here, Mr. Scott. Is that another yellow spring? Can't tell. Maybe. Probably. Oh, this boot is covered in oil. That must have a leak, maybe. But look at that. Why were you leaking? Maybe the cartridge is blown out. Okay. We can fix that. Let's see. So the O-ring up there is good. Take a look at the others. There's bushing there, looks good. O-ring on the bottom looks good. Maybe I'll just put some grease. Yeah, these all look good. All right, I'll just grease them. Oops. like to put a lot of grease in the cartridge. Yeah, all the rings look good. Just maybe just some grease would help those rings puff up a little bit. I gotta tighten it all the way down. Yeah, that piston's got to go. The Delrin one doesn't even have a washer. It's like a Techno piston. It's not even the same one as the one in the other shock, but maybe they came off of a different car. I'll hang on to that. All right, big washer. Piston. And maybe a little tiny bit of Loctite. And wipe off the excess. I don't know what Loctite does inside of a shock. Guess we'll find out. Here's my grease. I'll push down. Perfect. Fill this guy up. And then we can start assembling. You can see all the bubbles come up. That's fun. It's like a burp. Made a lot of room down in there. All right. So you can close this VRP piston caddy back up. Won't need that today. Yeah, assembly. To go the rears. So if you follow me at all or have watched me do shocks in the past, you'll know that I typically don't follow instructions. I do bleed the shock initially like this. I'll compress the piston and keep pressure on it as I back the bleeder screw off, and you see air and excess oil start to come out. Then I just keep pressing until the shock comes all the way, bottoms out, then run the bleeder screw back in. And then the only time that I'll really spend time pumping it and re-bleeding it is if the shock's not dead at this point, meaning that if I pull it out, it stays pulled out, and if I push it in, it stays pushed in, like that. I mean, that's a little bit of rebound, but that's okay, right? It's not enough that I'm worried about it. So I'll just leave that as it is, put it together, and send it. If I can get the boot to go around. There we are. No, it's okay. These are the backs off of that one. Let me put these. And we're gonna go longs in the back. Ones are longer. Yeah. These. No, shorts in the back. Jack wagon. Pay attention, man. Pay attention, man. Sweet. One down. Like that. My spring just rolled right off the bench. How am I going to find that? Oh, it's nice. See, this would not be a dead shock. Nice. Boot. That didn't want to get started. Spring. Which spring did we lose? Short, well, a long one. It's all right. We're on short ones right now. Okay. The fronts. Well, you stay there. Another dab of oil. Uh-oh. We're losing lights. That long enough? That's not long enough. Not long enough? It is. It is. On. Right. Well, you know what? I'll hook up this other one just so we're safe. No worries about lights. All right. Nice. Ooh. Oh, why am I putting the spring on without putting the... Jeez. Oh, it happened again. drop the spring again. Let's see, how do we want to do this? I want to get my longer and this one. Yeah, that's the one. Right. What do I do with the shot? Oh, there it is. Ring purge. Go. Nice. Getting a little closer. Let me put another dab of oil here too. I'm gonna go ahead and put these right on the car so I don't get confused. As we all know, I am prone to do. Delete it. Nice. Very nice. It's a messy shock boot too. Wipe that off. Oil and dirt. Where'd that other... purge. All right. That's shots setup number 1 done with the 750. Let me go throw these on the car. A little squeaky. Let me get some WD-40 going. If I can find it, yeah. Oops. Are gonna need those. What I'm gonna do is if I flex these arms, you can hear there's a little bit of bind in them. So typically all I do is just squirt a little bit of WD-40 in the hinge pin brace or in bushing. Maybe a couple of other points on the that move on the arm, and that should take care of that squeak for us. I do like to keep a paper towel kind of handy to wipe up any mess that sprays through. Sometimes it does. So now, yeah, still a little squeak. Where is that coming from? Perhaps the sway bar link? Yeah, that's it. Just that little bit of bind from the sway bar link. Okay. Nice and quiet now. So let's go with the long rear. These bleeder screws you want to face into the car all the time, and these grub screws you want to face out of the car. I have a handful of screws here. Some of them appear to be black and some of them appear to be silver, but I have to pay close attention, as one of them is right-handed and one of them is left-handed. Need the left-handed here. Let's see, what did I do with my 5.5? And you know, before I go and put this thing out, I'll do ride height and all that other good stuff too. And I won't show that on video. And like I said, I'll try to record track sessions with both setups. Just switching this bushing around so my bleeder screw stays facing the right direction. Need a black screw on this one. Right-handed thread screw on the right-hand side and left-handed thread screw on the left-hand side. All right, that's the back. Any bind up front? Oh yeah. Paper towel again. A little squirt on the hinge pins. And the sway bar links. Right. Now that's nice and free. Ish. Yeah. Wipe off the chassis. And is this left-handed? Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna leave these ultra bald tires on here too. Again, keep all the things the same. It's the only thing that's going to be different there is the amount of where it'll have an extra pack on it for one setup versus the other. No big deal, I guess. The bushing just broke. Okay. Guess we won't be using that one. I've got some extras. Get out of there. There we are. Pushing. Right-handed thread screw. Right. This guy will be all set up, ready to go. All set, ready to go. I'll check ride height when I go take it out to the track. All right, let me get this other shock set up, and then we'll be good to go. All right. Give it a little top off. And I'm missing a shock cap. Maybe that one didn't have a cap on it. All right, I have extras. Not a big deal. This one, does it have a stripped out bleeder screw hole? Maybe. Definitely. That sucks. There's a reason it was lying around as a spare. This is not coming out. Here. Mess with that another time. Let's try this one. One good? Yeah, that feels good. We just need the cap off of this one. If there's any oil in it, I'll just dump it. Yeah. Cool. We put all these guys aside so I don't get confused. I had a bag somewhere. Where did that go? All right. Bleed it. See if we get a dead shock, and move on to the next one. Pretty good. Not that good. You see how so you see how far it withdrew? So yeah, so that tells me that there's still some things we need to do there. So then I'll follow instructions. I'll pump it 20 times and then rebleed. Yeah, so some oil came out there. Pretty good. I'll leave it like that. All right, so we're gonna do shorts in the back, longs in the front. Which one's which? Get them apart. Longs. Oh, are they all longs? No, these are shorter. All right. Oh, I left a shock lane on the ground over here. I wonder what that was for. Pretty good. Yeah, I'll definitely have to adjust ride height and stuff like that, but I'll do that out there. May or may not video that. I'll definitely try to get some video of the track sessions and work that into this live stream. We'll do like kind of a big edit at the end and have the setup and the track sessions all in one big video. Yeah, look, I see I've got extra. All right, last two. Or is it like crazy glue in there or something? Good. Oh, that feels too loose. I'll get a different one, and then maybe I'll put some. I like to put a little dab of crazy glue if there's any sort of sense of looseness in the threads in these. Just a drop, and it pretty well cures as you thread the end on. And of course it cures with everything else in there, dirt, whatever. So it helps. It's almost like using super strength Loctite. Spring, perch. Nice. Last one. Last but not least. Bleed it. Oh wow, that's really bound. There must be a lot of air. Yeah. Look at all that. And oil. Nice. It's right in front of me, idiot. That one's a little bit loose. Nice. Spring perch. We're pretty much done. And I can take these guys over to the track, try to take these cameras over, get them set up, see what I can figure out there. And yeah, so keep an eye out in the future, not too distant, I hope. I'll get some video out on the track. We'll run a pack with the 750 oils, and we'll run a pack with these 500s and see what it looks like. My Thornhill sticker's all dirty. Anyway, so yeah, so keep an eye out for that. I'll try to get that done here later today. Maybe get the edit in tomorrow. I'll try. We'll see. I do have to go and see a bit of a show this evening. My wife and kids and I are all going to go see Minus the Bear at a place called Emo's, I think the name of it. Pretty excited about that. Love Minus the Bear. Love to go see shows with the kids. All right, so keep an eye out for that next video, and we'll see you in the next one.